Hi, this is an explanation video for the story titled The Golden Acorn's Guardian. So, this story tells about Kiki, a young squirrel who discovers a magical golden acorn and learns from the wise owl, Aru, that it has a history of protecting the forest. So, he hears how another brave squirrel once also safeguarded the acorn from a cunning fox named Rudy, who tried to use its magic for selfish purposes. When Rudy tried to deceive Kiki, he remembered the lesson from Aru and bravely chooses to protect the acorn rather than keeping it for himself. And ultimately, Kiki becomes the new guardian of the acorn, learning that true courage means using one's gift to help and protect the others. So, this story used the technique of nested loop. So the story structure resembles a nested loop because of how the story layers work, where each story functions like an inner loop that temporarily pauses the outer story, which is the Kiki's adventure, to add depth or background to the story. In other words, this narrative tells a story within a story. So this is an illustration for the nested loop technique according to the Golden Acorn's Guardian stories. So, for the first loop, we have the outer loop, which consists of Kiki's story and transition to the first inner narrative. In Kiki's story, it began by introducing Kiki, a squirrel who found a special golden acorn, and his interaction with the acorn and his encounter with Aru, which set up with the main plot. And then we transition into the inner story where Kiki curiosity and conversation with Aru lead into another tale which pauses the main narrative momentarily. So the first inner narrative, which is the first inner loop, consists of Aru's story about Bibi and the golden acorn, and also the transition to the second inner narrative, where in Aru's story, Aru tells Kiki the story of Bibi, another squirrel who also protected the golden acorn long ago. He protected it from a cunning fox named Rudy, and this story within the main story serves to provide context, giving Kiki an understanding of why the golden acorn is important and why it must be protected. And then we transition to the second narrative where Bibi's story, we get yet another layer as Aru explained the story of the acorn by introducing Rudy and Daisy interaction. So next we have the second inner narrative, which is the second nested loop. It consists of Rudy and Daisy's story. In this inner layer, we hear about how Rudy tricked Daisy into giving him a magical icon in the past. So this later give further backstory on why Rudy is a threat and what happened when the golden icon falls into the wrong hands. And then we started to exit the layer. First, we exit the Rudy and Daisy story, where this segment ends as Aru explained that Rudy has caused trouble before, emphasizing that he is a threat. And we then exit Bibi's story, where Aru finished the tale about Bibi, reinforcing the lesson for Kiki to guard the acorn carefully. And back and we are back to the Kiki story, where the main story resumes and with new fun understanding. Kiki then decided to take responsibility to safeguard the icon against Rudy, who appears in the present. So, in this way, the story is layered to be a richer story, giving Kiki's final action a greater significance. So for this story, I decided to use an activity where you can perform the story using paper cup puppets. You can make paper cup puppets by initially sketching the design that you want and prepare all the material, which is the paper cup. And you can color the paper cup according to your characters, or you can also use color papers to rub the colors of the character there. And you also need to prepare the character details like their mouth and eyes and also tails. And next you can stick the details on the paper cup. So why I use this paper cup puppet is because first it encourage creative expression and learning, where you can use a paper cup puppet from a used paper cup or recycled paper cup to encourage creativity, which allow children or individuals to express their imagination through design and storytelling. Because these puppets are excellent tools for storytelling, which help kids to develop communication and also social skills. So it can also contribute to the sustainability of the nature, where it teaches the children the importance of recycling and using the material in a fun and engaging way. For this case, I use paper cups, and it is also low cost because you can get the paper cups anywhere, because it's not really expensive, or you can just have the paper cup that was recycled, and it can also enhance engagement and fun because it encourage a hands-on activity for to craft the hand puppet. So why not use the hand puppet to perform the story? So the moral values of the stories is the first one is about responsibility and selflessness, where in the story Kiki learns that the golden acorn isn't just a treasure to keep for himself, but something he must protect for the greatest good of the forest. So the golden acorn represents something precious that must be protected from misuse, and it is important to be responsible and considering the well-being of others. And the next moral values is about being wary of deceit, where in this case, Rudy character show the danger of deception as he uses tricks to get what he wants. So this part of the story teaches us to be cautious and to recognize that not everyone has good intention. And third moral value is about wisdom and trusting advice. So as we see that Kiki listened to Aru, the wise owl, and take his advice to hers, hearts. This highlight that the importance of respecting wisdom from others, especially with those with more experience. That's all, an explanation video for the Golden Acorn Guardian. Bye!